I love a comment like this because it lets me make a list. And as a nerdy lawyer, I love to make a list. So let's talk about my obsession. Do I think the word obsession is a little bit strong? Yeah, but it's okay. I can own it. I would use words like outraged by, shocked by, horribly disappointed, especially as a Georgia bar member. There's a lot of different words that I could use to describe how I feel about Fani Willis and some of the antics of the district attorney's office over the last few years. But the reason I'm happy to own it is because I am in very good company, because there's a whole lot of other folks out there that are pretty tired of Fani Willis and her antics and the antics of the DA's office. Let's start with just some Fulton County Superior Court judges. Poor Judge Whitaker, who's had to deal with all this crap related to this ridiculous YSL dumpster fire. And we've got Judge McAfee, who's had to deal with the President Trump dumpster fire and the fact that he had to rule on having her disqualified, where she ended up having to get Nathan Wade to resign. But then we also have Judge Rachel Krause, who was very unhappy with Fani Willis and Dexter Q. Bond in the manner they handled the open records lawsuit with the merchant law firm. And let's not forget Judge McBurney, who had to do the same thing with the Judicial Watch lawsuit against the DA's office and Dexter Q. Bond for failing on their open records requests and forcing a $22,000 attorney's fee bill. But the list doesn't even stop there. We've got the Georgia Senate Committee that is subpoenaing Fani Willis to investigate her. We have the Georgia Court of Appeals that then had to say, you know, we think Fani Willis, due to her misbehavior, has to be disqualified entirely. And if the Georgia Supreme Court accepts their application for cert, then they're going to have to deal with Fani Willis and her misbehavior as well. We also have, of course, the Fulton County Commissioners, who have been arguing with Fani Willis about whether or not she needs more money, and in the past have had to deal with things like suggesting she needs to be audited because nobody can figure out where she's spending all of that money. And outside of that whole section of government that's tired of Fani Willis and her antics, let's talk about Jeffrey Williams' family and the entire Atlanta rap community and their fans after what they've put those young men through over the last few years. And of course, we've got the Rice Street Jail, where we have inmates that are not having their cases moved and are in horrendous conditions, the least of whom we cannot forget the young man who passed away and was eaten by bed bugs. And we can lay that one right at the feet of the Fulton County Jail and the DA's office as well. The flip side of that, let's talk about the thousands of victims whose RAPE kits haven't been tested yet. And while we're spending money prosecuting the YSL case and not moving those cases forward. I'm not sure if you realize, but the ACLU has also filed a lawsuit against Fani Willis. And there's Amanda Timpson, who was the whistleblower who came out from the DA's office talking about some of the misuse that Fani Willis has had with regard to federal funding. And lest we forget, Nathan Wade's wife. So yeah, I'm in some pretty good company. Have a nice day.